Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time here. This is our cozy and realistic no-mod series where we play as General of the Minutemen, working to rebuild the Commonwealth one settlement at a time. And today we are back here at Abernathy Farm. I also think I fixed the issue I was having with my mic last time, so hopefully the audio balance between me and the game is a little better than it was last time. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Now, last time we really focused on Murdoch's meds, and what I want to do today is get a new store up and running, and I think that's going to be a clothing store. We have so much space back here in the settlement, so I think our goal will be to kind of do some big structures to anchor it, and then maybe some smaller housing or farm in between. And then we want to kind of leave, I think they're established farmland mostly alone, though I do think we could clean up some of the fencing and stuff and maybe give them like a specialty greenhouse. And then at some point I would like to clean up inside the big house as well, maybe just kind of organize their stuff, but I think their beds are kind of locked in there. So let's start with a clothing shop. I want to grab a foundation to start feeling things out, and I think I'll just go like as far back in the settlement as I can to take advantage of the space we've got here. So I'm thinking like a proper 4 square back here. How does that feel? Oh, we have even more space than I thought we did with this nice little hill, which kind of works out well for a structure like this to feel like it's propped up against the edge. Like that's some nice, I don't know, visual height texture. It just feels well placed. I see, are those rad stags in the background? Yeah, we can leave those alone. And I think shack pieces for this are kind of appropriate, though I am going to try to do a second story, which might mean, hold on, that one isn't in stairs, it's here. Doing something like this instead of one of the foundations. I think we'll do the whole structure first. And then we'll come back to sort of decorating the inside. Because then we can feel out too, like what's possible. Because I would love to be able to differentiate the inside and the outside a little bit with like one of these walls. And I think we can. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna work. Oh, just beautifully. That's wonderful. And I think maybe a porch would be lovely too. Just something like that. Although that does limit us with if we can do kind of like a popped out wall. I don't know, what do you guys call this sort of piece? I've been calling them like pop outs, but maybe there's a better name for them. Let's store that for now. We can come back to it after we've sort of figured out what we want to do. I like that, adding some space on the side like that. And then we can keep our porch the way we want it. And maybe like that. And then I think this is low enough that we can use these stairs. Yeah, I really like these stairs. Oh, that's cute. Maybe wall it off like that. Oh yeah, this is coming together just wonderfully. I don't think I can do railing on this side just because we're close to the door, but I think that's okay. Let's grab a door just to make sure we can fit one on here and don't forget about it. Oh, I think the blue will go nicely with that blue plywood piece in the wall. Oh, that's lovely. And then we can come over here, open the little door. Oh, hi Preston. Preston is here to help, as always. And I'm thinking the front part here is the shop. And I said clothing shop. Front part here is definitely the shop. And then if we can separate off sort of this back area for maybe inventory and personal. Let's wall off everything first. I'm just looking for walls with like a little bit of texture. Because here I'll want to do a flat wall. Because we might want to put some stuff up against it, you know? This one's good. And what else do we have here? Maybe back to a cap for this side. We're going to have to go outside and look at that and see how it all feels. But so far, I am not opposed. Now let's grab the flat wall for the inside here. Ooh, we can, hold on, we can clip with that stair way more than I thought that we could. That's really good to know. I'm gonna try and clip as minimal as possible though, just to make it, you know, feel realistic that they can walk up and down stairs. How's that? I think that's nice. We might even want like one of the half wall bits to sort of come a little farther, although those usually clip unhappily with stuff above them, so maybe we come back to that part. Do we have enough room for the actual store part? I think so. Let me place it down and then we can see. Oh yeah, that's good. That's more room than I kind of thought we had, and then we'll give them some space. And then in theory, oh, that's not a ton of space at all, is it? We might want to use another like popped out wall back here so they can get up their stairs more easily, because I think their bed would be on the second level. That's what I'm thinking. And I like this one just because it has a nice slant to it. Now, is that enough room? Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Okay, so now we've got a nice space up here. And I don't really remember if warehouse walls would snap happily here, but since this is just living space, I was thinking about making this sort of half height. And we can play with this sort of loft area. This is just an idea I had. Honestly, as I was falling asleep last night, this is what I was thinking about. I don't know if you guys do that too, but it feels weird to say that I find comfort in like the apocalypse fantasy games that I like more when the world feels kind of apocalypsy, but I do. It just kind of feels like even if things get wasteland bad, they'll still be okay. I mean, not really for a lot of people, but I can at least play with escapism. That was darker than I meant it to be. I'm sorry. I'm just playing with pieces because I don't know if we'll be able to do this the way I want to. Because we need to fill that gap. And we can if we just do another shack upper floor. And it won't be like usable space because our heads will be too close to the ceiling. But I think that's okay. So let's just try it out. We can swap all these pieces. I'm really just going for like interesting texture. Because this should, oop, not that one. I know there's a piece that should sit in here comfortably enough. Isn't there? It's not this piece. Oh, wait. I wonder if I can just sort of, oh, if I could place it there. That would be really cool, right? I don't know if that's possible. I'm just gonna try. Well, we don't have any furniture down or anything yet, so I'm not too worried about having to redo this. But I just want to try. And this would just be a placeholder wall. We're not actually gonna keep that there. Could I do? I want one like this that I can sort of just clip to. Oop, I didn't mean to grab that. Really, I'm just trying to play with if this upper space could be like a 3 section. See, that won't go there. Oh, this really seems possible if we do it in the right order. Though maybe not. Like if I use that to force one of these pieces like that. Okay, promising so far. And then can this one meet it in the corner? It doesn't want to. It wants to go this way. Let me store this one for now. Store the stairway for now. I might just be undoing stuff, but that's okay. Because this... No, that doesn't want to go there. Wait, I heard a little clip. Was that... Oh. Am I doing this the wrong direction? That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. I don't know if that's possible. Okay, I see the issue. I see the issue that I have made for myself, but I think we can work around it. Because we have these, like, we have neat pieces here. Like that. Like, that's a neat piece, right? And this would kind of be what I want. Like that. And can this go the same way but the other side? Or is this the piece that does that? Okay, interesting. Promising so far. Oh, okay, wait. We're getting somewhere. Let's put the stairs back. Oh, again, they're not in stairs. They're like this. Oh, and we don't want them on this level. We want them on this level. And it doesn't like that, probably because of the wall. We'll get this all pieced back together in the right order. I think this is going to be really cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Now can this come back here? Let's get rid of this piece because we were just using that as a placeholder. Oh, and now that can happen. I think this could work. That's really neat. Ooh, looks like I failed to get Croup Manor. Oops, uh-oh. We'll come back to Croup Manor though. That's okay, we already have this log. I've just been sort of unlocking settlements in any order that Preston tells me to do them. Or if I have like a specific vision for something like I did at Abernathy. I kind of forced our way into Abernathy. But Preston's just sort of assigning the rest of them. Sometimes I get comments asking, like, will you do a specific settlement? The plan is honestly to get to all of them. I know that's ambitious, but we can at least try, right? Okay, now let's see what we can do with the roofs. Because we could... Oh, I kind of want it to come over the actual house. Why does... Oh! Oh, wait. That's cool. We can go back downstairs and see how this looks from the outside. Let's go see how this looks from the outside, because it might be giving too much vertical height. I might be trying to mix pieces too much. Oh, I adore that. This piece is backwards, which is probably why it was being weird. Are these pieces all forward? Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. And I like the different texture of the lower thing. Though I might try and switch that up even more. Because we don't need a ton of headspace up here. We just need enough for like one bed, you know? So we could even... go like this. Yeah. Yeah, wait, this is cool. And that'll lock that in. Okay. And now we can use these pieces to seal off that entrance to the outdoors. Because we want to make sure this feels... it's kind of like an attic nook. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. It just feels so neat. That's really cool. All right, let's take a peek. Yeah, let's take a peek at this from the outside and see how it feels. See how we like it. I adore it. It feels scrappy and cool. I don't love that without the foundation piece, the stair piece looks like it's floating a little bit. So let's see if we can't prop either the correct foundation piece kind of under it. It looks like it's gonna fight me on that. Or using the miscellaneous bridge to kind of... Oop, it doesn't really like that either, huh? Oh, we can do it under this piece. Oh, this will be good enough. Yeah. Just pushing it as high as it can go like that. That helps a lot. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay. Lovely. Let's put on the walls that we're missing. I think this is still enough space. Yeah, I know I'm just kind of wandering around. Let's grab a little half wall for here. And then let's do a flat wall here just so we can get a little creative with the decorations that we want to put on the wall. And then a piece like that. And now let's try and put the inner wall piece back. We're giving them as much space as possible for the shop. How high does that come up on the stairs? I don't feel like it impedes the stairs. Oop, I forgot to fill in this little gap. Come here. There we go. Oh, this is really cool. And then, oh, sometimes that looked green, but I guess it was just because of the stairs specifically. I guess that's enough privacy. This can even honestly come a little more centered. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. Okay, that structure looks really good to me. I think, okay, here's my vision for this clothing shop. Because episode 1, we made the graveyard and we made the little meditation chapel where people can sort of go and reflect. So I think that this settlement specifically would attract people who had lost somebody. And so I was thinking about like a clothing shop that's owned by two sisters, like a joint, like clothing and armor. And then if one of them like was, you know, killed or taken in a raider attack, what would the other one be left with? And I think that's just one of them left to run this by herself. And so I want to still put like an armor workbench in here, but I think the focus instead of armor is going to be just regular clothing, because maybe her sister was the one that, you know, focused on armor. But we'll still put down an armor workbench. And we've got the clothing thing there. And I want to do a good shop name. I think we have the ability to just sort of write it directly on this wall. Yeah, it looks like this will sit over here nicely. And I want to name it something like something cutesy together, like Stitch and Sis, but the second part had to be removed. Stitch. I want to find a way of making it look like the second part of the sign. Oh, is there not an ampersand? I just kind of thought there would be. What do we have? Not a plus sign or anything either. This is, I'm just gonna try something. And it's, can I make a like scorch mark? Oh, it looks like I can. I don't know if that'll like stay. But I almost want to make it look like the second word has been burned off. You know what I mean? If I can't do an ampersand, I will spell out the word and. But then we'll do it our best to make it look like kind of covered up. You know what I mean? Oh, we can do one of these. I want an arrow that's like pointing to the door. Yeah. Well, does this feel too, I don't know, gaudy for a little Stitch shop? I think that Stitch, who's the remaining girl here, would have had a bunch of stuff from their larger emporium wherever they had it before. Like maybe she was in Diamond City previously. So it makes sense to me that she would have like parts of a larger marquee, even if some of it feels too big or inappropriate for where she is now. Okay. Oh, that'll cover that up nicely. Like it kind of looks like the second part has been like censored. I think we can do it. The big one makes it look like we're actually covering up a name, so let's do the big one. And then if it were me, instead of being Stitch and somebody, I would just make it Stitches. So let's grab, but in a different color, an apostrophe and an S. Ooh, and the bullet texture went through these. Again, I don't know if that'll like save like that. Oh, let's see. Ooh, I don't mean to put anything on the weapon rack. I just want to see if I have like something like a minigun. All right, brace yourself. Ooh. I'm just going to try and scuff this up. I mean, that works. A little more. Wow. Wow, I really wonder if that'll stay or if the next time I load this, that'll be gone. I mean, for now. Oh, I was just trying to put my gun away. And I can't figure out how to do that. There we go. For now, that's wonderful. Okay, we're too far away from other power sources. So I think she's going to have her own generator. And I do think she should have a generator out here. We might be able to reuse it for some other stuff. Where am I looking for? Power. Generator. Oh, you guys, that's wonderful. These letters look kind of far apart, but I guess that's just how they go. That's really cool. Okay, let's keep doing decoration inside. And since we have power, I think we can do a light in here. Like some string lights between the rooms. The armor workbench for sure. Let's put a bed down. And I think, I mean, she can have a bigger bed because this is all her own space now. Let's do the head of the bed. I think the head of the bed is on the right. And then maybe she came with the old mattress. And it's just still there for now. And then I think this would be a lot of storage stuff up here, you know what I mean? Oops, suitcase is trying to go on the roof. We don't want that. We can do suitcase under her bed. Ooh, and then the wooden crate, I think also would go really well here. Which way's the front? This way? I always forget. Let's shove this even further back if we can. I really do want it to kind of be like an out of sight, out of mind thing. But mattresses are, you know, I don't want this to go on the roof. Mattresses are valuable, so she wouldn't just be able to throw it away. But let's still give her the comforts that she would need, which I think maybe looks like a little nightstand over here by the head of the bed. Let's shove this even kind of further under. And then like a little candle. Oh, this is gonna really try and jump to the ceiling, isn't it? I can't see it because it's over there. Oh, you know what? Somebody told me, one of you in the comments had this great idea that if we put a plate down first, it'll sort of protect the surface from the candle. I think that's a great idea if we have a plate. I wasn't really reading, so we might have scrolled past one already. But there. Ooh. Just brought that right up to my face. Switching between Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas, I am having the hardest time switching between the codes. Not the codes, the commands. I keep forgetting what does what. Okay. That looks really good. That's really cool. Oh, that's a lovely spot for her. I really do want this to feel like cozy for her. I think it would be hard for her to sort of sleep alone. Let's do maybe a little plant over here. And then we have room for some wall decor as well. And again, I think coming from a bigger store location, they would have had a bunch of stuff. So I just want to try and sprinkle that in. There, that's hanging on that rafter. Yeah, it's cozy, it's sweet. It'll be somewhere that she can live and recover nicely. Okay, so far so good. Now we're down here in the actual clothing shop. How far back can we bring this but still have room to stand behind it? I think pretty far. Like this. I mean, I can stand behind it, but I don't know if they're the same size. But I think that works. And then we'll definitely want a mannequin or two in here. Ooh, let's do a rug down first, though, before I forget. Nice little rug here. and some variations of her work. And we want to make sure those are, you know, visible, lit up. Which we could do with just a single bulb like that. Yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. I want this to feel cozy. Maybe we do a few paintings here. Just sort of like a little gallery. Yeah. And then maybe more on this side. This. I think Stitch here, I think she's an artist. You know what I mean? Like I think she gets inspiration from a bunch of different sources. And we can do a little rug here. I'm assuming that her focus is this like sewing machine looking thing. So let's assume she can sit and work here. Like that. Oh, that's good. That's lovely. And then something like this. It's gonna, well, it'll clip with the ceiling, but it'll fit. If I'm not in workshop mode, oh, that looks okay. There's still room to get around it. Just a little armoire like that, something that like can definitely be used for storage. I guess I'm really not looking for a table. I'm looking for more of a desk. Or I could do cabinet, just kind of another workspace for her. So she might have like, I don't know, thread or scissors in the cabinet and be able to kind of use it like a junk drawer, pull that open, pull it out, start working over here. She's got some paintings. That's really cute. Ooh, we could do something with a bookcase as well. Maybe that's where a lot of like, the clothing can be put. And I want like another plant here, one that's better cared for. Yeah. Ooh, that's a little too close to the entrance. Okay. So there is little potted plant, little bookcase, little place for her to work. Oh, I want to put something else on this. Is there anything I can do with the US flag? I like that it's cloth. Honestly, that's what I'm thinking, and that's what I like here. Oh, we didn't really check the other signs or miscellaneous things. I like a clock. We can give her a little Nuka clock. And then again, I mostly just like that these seem like fabric. These Children of Adam. I think the first episode I kept saying Cult of Adam instead of Children of Adam. It's Children of Adam, right? I really just like that this feels like a tapestry sort of thing. Yeah. Like it's just, it's got a good drape to it, you know? And then do we have something that says sale, you know? We can do up here. Or does that feel too, like, garish? It's not a gun shop. It's not a lobster roll shop. Definitely not police. I wish there was something that felt more like explicitly clothing. Maybe none of these work. And that's okay too. I don't want to force something. Though maybe something like this could be nice. Again, because it feels fabric-y. think it could work over here, maybe, or it might just keep clipping into the wall. I think that she would have found a lot of solace in like quiet meditation and reflection in the chapel, not necessarily any specific type of religion. All right, let's dress these up. And I think, again, I think she's an artist. I think for her, she's about this kind of outfit and less armor. So let's see if we can do something similar on this one. Ooh, a knit cap. I want something fancy. Ooh, the laundered loungewear I think would be really lovely. Oh, those aren't that wasn't quite the piece I was thinking of. Let's check out the Letterman jacket. That looks a little too wasteland. I want something a little cleaner. I have a tuxedo. We could do a full tuxedo. Trilby hat we'll try on. Oh, we could try on the sequin dress as well, but I think I would like one of the other dresses a little better. If I have one, I might not. I do have a lot of suits. I like it. Oh, and I just took it back. I didn't mean to do that. I'm telling you, the slight differences between the keyboard for both games have really been throwing me off trying to context switch. But that is okay. There we go. Okay, that's cute. And I think what would make sense to me is if she's making a lot of this clothing herself, I think a lot of the material she can get her hands on would be like leather based. I want to come over to, oh, I forget what it is, and I forget where it is, but there's like some tannery stuff. The tannery hides. Like, to me, this is fabric. And does any of it like go in here? It might. Or can this go behind even? I would love if there was somewhere for this to be. Ooh, back here works really well. Just sort of some organic textiles that she got and has been drying. That's really nice. And then same thing out here. Some of these might be drying outside. Oh, I sort of like this as, you know, they've kind of had to downsize for a larger space. Yeah, let's do the barrels and then one out here. And then one here. I really like that. Is there any... I'm getting distracted by the smoke coming out of the generator, but I think it's okay. I'm just checking for any lights that might help tie this all together.
You're with the Minutemen, right?
Oops, somebody's really
Keep up the
excited
good
about
work,
the Minutemen.
okay? We need more people like you.
I don't like that.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, she just ran right in there.
You're
Oh,
a
that's
real
Connie.
hero.
I was
Not
gonna
many
say
around
maybe we
these
could
days.
assign whoever that is,
This
but
is for you. It's
Connie
nothing
is
much,
taken.
but I hope it'll help the cause.
yeah, now we're in all the fluorescent stuff. I don't want to make it fluorescent, you know? I think maybe the last thing we want here is just a little chair for her to do maybe some of the tannery work, which would be, you know, stretching out the hide and letting them dry outside. I've been relying on the airplane seats a little too much recently. Let's try and find something that feels good. Ooh, I could do patio chair. Yeah, patio chair works really well. So she's got some outside areas for tannery stuff, and then some inside areas for sewing and, oh, I was gonna say dyeing fabric too. What do you need to dye fabric? Like a pot? Do I have a pot? Because if I have like a metal pot, maybe we put that on this cabinet. I guess plastic bowl could work, but I'm really looking for like a metal pot. M for metal. Maybe I don't have any. Ooh, I could do an enamel bucket. I can absolutely use an enamel bucket for dyeing fabrics. There, that's gorgeous. I wonder. Now I'm deep in the weeds with this. But I think she could use some natural dyes. So I'm just gonna drop 2 kinds of flowers near it. One's like a blue and one's like a purple. Is this gonna sink through the ground? Oh, well, that kind of seems like the worst possible case, that it just clipped into the cabinet. But, oh, see, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Oh, did it? How do I get that out? I'll just crouch down. Okay, those are some good dye options for her. So she can sort of color her fabrics, and she can sew them together, and she can collect them and store them, and she can come up here with a lot of stuff boxed up. I want like one more box here. One more box here, and then I'll be good. Oh, the hamper's too clean. I went too far over. Ooh, would a vault trunk fit? Oh, I think it would. That's some nice texture. That's really nice. Oh, cool. Let's take a little nap. We'll wait till it's sunny out again. I knew that we were going to spend most of the time today on that, and that's totally according to plan. We don't have time for a fully new thing, but we do have a little bit of time left. So let's either look into the main farmhouse, or, oh, that's just part of the armor workbench. Gosh, this ended up being so cute. That's just wonderful. Or we can work on, what's the word I'm looking for? A like greenhouse for them, and clean up some of the plant areas. Because like I said, we want to leave most of it alone. I just want to check that this is like a Brahmin feed thing and not just a bathtub. Yeah, perfect. Why is the gate broken? It's yellow. That's odd. Like, I don't think they need these fences. Let's clean them up. 2, because I know that I'm going to push the size limit as much as it lets me. So I'd rather save some space where we can. And I think that works. Same, I don't think they need a cooking station here. We'll be adding like a bar or something where they can more reliably get food at some point. These are a lovely texture. We're going to want that space in the build limit back. I don't really think they should have a chemistry station just hanging out here. Again, we'll come back to this all. Can I scrap this tree? Nah, it looks like it's on the edge. All right, this is what we worked on last time, the little graveyard and chapel. This just seems like a vulnerable spot to me. I don't know if it actually is. Some of you in the comments, you know what the spawn spots are for enemies. I really just go off of vibes. But the vibe of this spot is that it's a little less guarded. So I'm just gonna pop pop 2 of these down here. Yeah, to protect the house from that side. Okay, we'll leave the Brahmin pen alone. We have enough water now. I think I put this down as like a temporary thing, so we'll get rid of that. That's a nice place for them to sit, so we'll keep that. The barrels can mostly go. Ooh, and then this looks like it could be farmland, right? The last time I thought that, it did end up being a grave, but I do think these mounds, these mounds are farmland. This could be a good spot for our specialty mute fruit area. Like a greenhouse pushed right up against this brush. I like that a lot. Nothing too big. Oh, I want to use a boxcar at some point. I don't think I've used those at all yet. In our episode, Green Top Nursery, we established that the people working there had their specialty strain of mute fruit, and that's why... Well, this doesn't want to go the way I want it to go, so we might have to get a little creative about the pieces we use to do this outline. Sometimes they play nicer if we put something else down first. The folks at Green Top have their own sort of variety of mute fruit that's a little sweeter. And I think because they're trading with the Minutemen and these guys are trading with the Minutemen, I think it's fair to assume that they would get access to some of those. And they wouldn't be able to give it like all of the same specialty quality of care. So of course it wouldn't be able to compete with the actual Green Top variety. But I think they would be able to grow some in a specialty greenhouse like this. Hey guys. Oh, is that gunshots? Or those are gunshots? Oh, we can clean up the stump. We can't reach the actual tree, but we can clean up the stump. We'll leave that for now. But I think a couple of mute fruits in here. It's a really cool nod to the other settlements that we have aligned with us. Just a few of them. And let's slap a door on there. Where are doors? Over here? Are warehouse doors also over here? Or am I wrong in thinking warehouse has like special doors? No, warehouse does have special doors. The organization of these menus, I think, could be improved. And then maybe like one of the fish tails. Fish eggs. I love using these as outdoor tables. Oh, is that going to be floating? Because we can always sink it, but actually it looks pretty. Let's sink it a little. No harm in it, and it'll help it look more blended. I hope the family's not too worried. They're circling me like something's wrong. See, that's real nice. It's just like right up against there. And then if they have specialty gardening tools, which I don't think I have on me. Oh, you know what I know they have is bags of fertilizer inside the house. Yeah. I think these are too heavy. Yeah, too heavy to move outside of workshop mode, which I kind of love. As a detail, I think that's fantastic. But for our sake, we'll just pick them up. Put them here ourselves. And then I would love if they were like knocked over a little. I wonder if I can step on them in a way that knocks them over. They might just be too heavy. I think that's a delightful little greenhouse. We still have a bit of time, so let's kind of establish what we want to do in the house. Is the cat okay? Oh my gosh. I thought the cat was dead. She's fine. Oh my girl, you scared me. Does she have like an assignment? No. I would love if we could attract another cat though. So while we have that generator with some extra room, kind of really spooked me. While we have the extra room, let's do a cat cage. Just over here while we've got it. Maybe a dog cage too, because we can. There we go. We'll let those marinate. Like I was saying at the kind of beginning of this video, the beds that they have inside the main house are unscrappable. And I have played before. The cat just loves lying like that. It's really unnerving. I play on PC, and on PC you can use console commands to sort of disable the beds that can't be scrapped. It looks like this one can be scrapped, so we might make this space into something else, which would be cool. It's a lovely space. But the main ones, did that box fall from somewhere? Is that a log? Can we get rid of that, or will anything fall down? These beds cannot be scrapped. These are owned beds. My read of that situation. Well, okay. So on PC, you can manually sort of disable these with console commands. I have played that way before. I don't want to do that in this case because one, I want these ideas to sort of stay accessible if you don't have console commands. And two, I like letting the limitations of the game guide our choices in this playthrough. And in this specific case, I think what this means to me is that the family wants to stick together. They don't want to be separated. They want to stay here. If I ask them as the Minuteman, can I move your bed? They say absolutely not. I am staying right here. And so I want to respect that, but I do want to clean it up a bit because I can't help myself and it kind of looks a mess. So we won't move this, but I think that we can organize it a little better, Also, I'm not sure if these count as roofed. I've had a lot of problems with the happiness here at Abernathy, and I think a big reason for that is these assigned beds, and also I'm not sure that the Abernathys can be happy. I just want to see if there's like a semi-easy way to ensure that these would all be roofed. I don't expect there to be. And we can put other beds that they, would be allowed to move to, and maybe they would in time as they heal. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything. Clipping in here is going to be a little rough. I was hoping that we could just put some like small floors over the bed to ensure. See, I told you they have a bunch of fertilizer inside. Scrap this box that's made entirely of asbestos. Okay, so they have that sleeping area, which I want to keep mostly the same for the 3 of them that live there. They have this main area, which I think that we could expand even farther. We could make this like a big mess hall, proper mess hall. What's this? This is the bathroom. I don't want to really mess with their bathroom. I do think we can give them a nicer toilet than a broken toilet bowl. Let's go ahead and do that. At least this one has a back. And can I move the little rug that it's on? We might be able to just sort of rug glitch this a little further into the wall. Yeah, there it looks like built in. Oh, wait, these shack walls, hold on. Those are scrappable. Where do they go to? Back here, we could open up this area. I'm not sure we'd want to, though. I don't know if we want this to stay a bedroom. It doesn't have to. We can give the fourth person their own bedroom. But that's, I think, a good bathroom spot. That's a gorgeous trash can. I wonder if we could turn this whole thing inside into kind of a restaurant if we got like a bar here, and then people could come in and eat properly instead of just eating, you know, 200-year-old potted meat out of the fridge. And then there's more up here too. I guess this is kind of just like storage. We could add a general trader to the settlement. Now I'm really just like musing about what we'll do in the next few episodes. We could add a general trader to sort of hold all this junk. Oops, I wasn't on the stairs. This top area is just wonderful. Like, they have string lights, they have chairs up here. Maybe this is where we could do like a bar or restaurant store properly. And then this could just be a place for everybody to sort of relax at night. Though they would need some railings to keep it OSHA compliant. Besides that, this is just such a gorgeous location. And I'm glad that we're working here. Thank you so much for joining me, the General of the Minutemen, as we work together to make the Commonwealth safer, one settlement at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please do check out the playlist of videos. I post new content every Saturday morning. Thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely day, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
I got word of a settlement that needs our help. I'll mark the location on your map.